Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a drink. It is time for some PathOfExile discussion. Welcome to day 2 of patch 3.24 and the Necropolis expansion. Today, I wanted to take you through some of the things that have been discovered. This is going to be a really short video because we're still in the process of finalizing exactly how the split between Pinnacle Boss and Uber Pinnacle Boss drops has played out. For example, for Nebulis, we can say that this is definitely coming from Uber Cortex now, which is a change from how it used to drop in the past, because there is an item level 87, one of them available for trade, in the Necropolis League. However, there's a bunch of other items we can be less sure about. Anyways, hopefully we'll have an authoritative list of that tomorrow or the next day. But in terms of the other items that have been found, all of the uniques that have been added in this expansion have now been found. There's a couple I wanted to point out in this video that are new, and I wanted to start with the Apostate, which drops from Uber Cortex. This one's kind of wild, not gonna lie. This turns the energy shield that is found on your helmet, your gloves, and your boots into life instead. For example, if you're wearing a Hubris circlet that's got 400 energy shield on it, then that's instead going to provide you 400 life. It's not going to provide you any base defenses. When you've got a helmet that's providing you 400 life, you're pretty content with that. However, it's also a chest armor, a very competitive slot, and one that does pretty much nothing else. It does have some strength, which is useful. It's got some ally res, which is a stat you've got to get somewhere, but it doesn't have a lot going for it. That said, it's a powerful effect, and life stacking builds will definitely use it. Relic of the Pact build should at least consider it. You'll probably decide not to use it, but there will be versions that will use it, and certainly things like Burning Arrow of Vigor will definitely use this item. And just in case you've forgotten, Wrathpin the Globe is still a thing. Next you have Veruso's Ambition, which comes from the League mechanic. This is just an interesting one, as it interacts with some of the special corpses, which is something that 323's Borrowed Power Warlock Ascendancy allowed you to do. You could interact with monster types, and you could use the Ravenous skill in order to consume a corpse, and then gain combat bonuses against those enemy types. This essentially plays into that. I don't think it's very strong, but it is a very cool effect. Finally, we have the Curios. Curio of Absorption, Curio of Decay, Curio of Consumption, and Curio of Potential. These four come from Uber Pinnacle Bosses, Uber Searing Exarch, Uber Elder, Uber Eater of Worlds, and the Uber Maven. When you get a set of 4 of them, they function like the Adorned, they combine into one item, and that item is the Utmost. This is extremely powerful, if and only if you get a well-rolled one. So it's a gold amulet, it's going to have a bunch of rarity on it, but it has an enormous roll range on it. 0 to 30 suppression, 0 to 5 all maximum elemental resistances, which is a stat that's very hard to get on the amulet, especially at these sorts of numbers. 0 to 40% increased attack and cast speed, and 0 to 20% elemental penetration. If you get this item and its roll ranges in the bottom third, it's trash. If it's in the top third, it could be extremely good, and if it's in the middle third, someone might use it for a little while, then grow out of it and replace it with something better. Because it drops Corrupted, it's not something you can throw Divine Orbs at, nor is it something that you can 3-for-1 vendor in order to get another version of it. Nope, your goal is to go back to those Uber Pinnacle Bosses and fight them again. What I really like about this design, it gives a reason to repeat those Uber Pinnacle Bosses. Anyways, I said this would be a short one. May your Orbs have interesting results, and I'll see you around.